Hi, I'm Kyle, and I've moved garages. My new space is much bigger than the old spaces, so of course, as is natural, I bought more things and filled up that space. Yeah, this space is starting to feel a bit crowded and in need of organization. One of the ways that I've decided that I can organize this space better is by moving the tires from the floor to the wall. So the tire rack idea that I have is basically a shelf for my tires. So you have a back part that mounts to the studs behind the drywall, and then you have a shelf part that the tires sit on. All right, anyway, let's get organizing and building. This is going to be a quick project, hopefully. Hopefully. Here's my scribe line here, and there's my hole. I'm definitely off. Same here. Holes back, holes back. Clearly, I need a drill press.
Oh, you think that's bad? Watch this. It's so crooked.
All right, so the rack's gonna go up there. I just cut an 8-foot section of a 2x3 in half. So now I'll put that on the wall so I have a nice secure spot for that rack to mount. All right. I may have messed up. You can see I put that, and that is flush with the ceiling, or at least as flush as it's gonna get. The design of this thing is basically a box that hinges open like this. So we have an upright that's gonna mount up to the wall like that, and then this part will come out forward. Issue is, because I only had so much of this angle here, this is 22 inches, this is 24. You can see, if I fold it up, that one sticks out a bit more than the other. I'll hold that nice and close so you can see that. Tires are 24 inches. So if I put this flush up against the wall, I might not be able to fit the tires because the tires are going to be hitting the ceiling. So I got to check some things. Now, I could be saved because there's going to be some droop. The tires aren't going to sit directly on top of this. They are going to sit in a trough between two cross members here. So they're going to be down a bit. But you still need to lift it over the edge in order to get the tires in and out. So I really do need that 2 feet. So I'm going to have to get probably fancy with this, maybe make some extensions. Say lovey, that's how it goes sometimes. I wasn't recording. I got part of it up. Et voila! It's me again! Anyway, here's what I was talking about. This is going to be the back plate. And it might be easier to see if I make it flush with the top here. It's got 1.5 inches of space down at the bottom. So I'll have to add some sort of extension to that, and that should buy me enough space to fit the wheels. All right, I'm adding some extensions to my uprights.
I believe the professional term for these welds is bad.
This is how the swing out part is going to mount to the upright part. I'm just going to have a bolt here, and that's going to go through there. However, this bolt through this material is just going to be too loose. There's going to be too much movement in there. So I am going to add a bit of bracing to that. Now the bracing is going to go like this, and I think you can see already my issue. It sticks out over the top. There's a couple of reasons why. Obviously it's too thick, but in addition, there's some extra material down here in the crease. So I'm going to have to make sure to add a nice big chamfer to this so that I can clear that extra material there, and let's get to the lathe. About 10 thou run out. That's down to 7th thou. Good enough. Let's turn this down. Look at that. Really clear indication of the run out. Final pass.
Yachts.
Well then. There's a little bit of pink on the inside of this bolt that I've been using to hold the supports in while I tack them. So this bolt is getting exposed to some medium heat. This is a zinc plated bolt, galvanized I think. And you can see it's got this nice pinkish hue. That pinkish hue is not great because zinc vapors are not very pleasant to be around. And in fact, they can give you flu-like symptoms or something like that. So it is masking up time. I got my respirator under my welding hood so I can go inside and not have any issues, so I can sleep well tonight. Welding. 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 Well, that's an annoying complication. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I know for sure that these things need to be square. Right about there is square. With this end pressed all the way up against this cross member, there is a significant gap between there. You can get almost my whole pinky in that gap. What that tells me is these two lengths were not quite the same length, and that's something I should have tested and checked, but you know, live and learn. So what I'm gonna have to do is take a 1/4 inch off of this so that I can move this whole bar down. That's what those markings are. Gotta take a 1/4 inch off of that, and then I should be good to go. All right, there we go. Now we're sitting at 6 inches and much more square there. We'll have to cut off that end, but that'll happen after we weld it. Tacking is easy. When you're welding at home, you use what you have at hand. Hey, if it works, it works. Felt that heat on my arm.
And now it's just a matter of welding it together. What? You already saw welding? No. That was tacking. What's the difference? Well, tack welds are little dots of weld along the joints. Welders do this to temporarily glue the project together so that they can be sure that everything fits and lines up properly. Of course, this process isn't foolproof if you say forget to check the alignment after tacking everything together, but what kind of airhead would make that mistake?
So you know how we tacked this together to make sure everything was lined up before we welded all together? Yeah, well, I tacked it, but I kind of forgot to check it. Yeah, it's a bit crooked.
Luckily, that bend was not enough to cause problems, so I drilled holes in the uprights and proceeded to mount them to the wall. And there it is. I'm actually quite happy with this. And look, it holds my weight. Now, it does have a bit of an issue in that it flexes quite a lot when I pull on it. That's not a game breaker, but I'd like it not to do that. So I have another issue that might actually solve this first issue. You see, when I was making the cables that hold up the ends, I messed up. Twice, in fact. And I made two cables that don't fit in terms of length. Now this one here is too short, so what I might do is just mount a chain here that I can connect to and tighten it up that way. I think that'll take care of the flexing issue and, you know, give it one more area for support. Oh, it's my face. We take the washer, we take the chain, we put the washer on chain, we take the screw and we put it through the both of them. And now we can mount the chain and the washer and the screw all to the one piece. Maybe if we can get it to go through. Oh, bugger you. Oh, there you go. And now let's tighten that down. Let's test it. Now that we got it hanging, I guess it's time to put some tires up. But you still need to lift it over the edge in order to get the tires in and out. Oh, bugger. Okay, I think I know what might have happened. My tires here are about 24 inches in diameter. The measurement that I made from the ceiling to the top of the window is about 24 inches. Top of the window, though, is right here, where there's a thing. So, of course, I made a 22-inch upright. 22 inches isn't enough to fit my tire. So we're gonna have to get creative, I guess. Well, this makes a really good argument for making things adjustable. What I've done is mess up on making the cables, so I have an extra long cable here, which I had lying around, which happens to fit about with the length of chain that I had extra on this. So now we have the bars, especially in the front, are sitting a little bit lower, and I think I might be able to fit my tires on those. So here goes nothing. Hey! That's a tire up there. That's 2 tires. 3 tires? They're up there. But I think that'll work. And more importantly, not come off the wall. Let's fill it with more tires. These ones aren't flat on the bottom, so they might need some retaining to keep them from falling. Right now, we're just gonna go with that old lean technology. On the plus side, they definitely fit on there too. If nothing else. Tires. And there you have it. A only mildly sketchy way to store all the tires and get them up out of the way. I got a lot more room back here, which I can fill with more junk. Probably have to put some shelves in there to really organize the junk and take advantage of that vertical space. But, yeah, I got some tires. I did get a set of shelves and did in fact fill them with junk.
Now there's one more thread to tie up before this project is done, and that's the chain that I used on the middle support. That chain was not rated for the kind of weight that those tires were putting on it, and after about a week it stretched and wasn't giving support at all. So I went out and got a proper chain, and those tires haven't sagged since then. In fact, it's been about 6 months, and I'd call this project very successful. And that's about all I got, so thanks for watching.